Good afternoon, distinguished guests, speakers, and participants. Welcome to the 2025 KGA Asia Korea Conference Commemorative Forum held here at the beautiful Busan Port International Exhibition and Convention Center. My name is Claudia Lee. It is my honor and privilege to serve as your MC for today's event. Nice to meet you all. First and foremost, please allow me to express my sincere appreciation to all of you to have kindly consented to our invitation to the 2025 KGA General Assembly Commemorative Forum of Dr. I종욱 Fellowship Program. And before we begin, let us briefly introduce you to the background and the meaning of today's event. Dr. I종욱 Fellowship Program is a global training program of KOFI that aims to strengthen the capacity of healthcare workforce in partner countries as well as the partner countries' healthcare system. And since LJWFP was launched back in 2007, it has nurtured more than 1,700 fellows from 30 countries as of 2025. And KOFI supports KGA established by LJWFP fellows in 12 countries. And we're very pleased to announce that KOFI hosts Commemorative Forum of LJWFP 2025 KGA General Assembly today, especially assembling esteemed fellows and cooperation partners on the occasion of 2025 WONCA Asia Pacific Regional Conference. With the active collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Welfare and KOFI, this forum aims to strengthen strategic partnerships in the healthcare sector between the Republic of Korea and partner countries as we seek fruitful areas for further cooperation. In this regard, we welcome participants from 15 partner countries, and also we're delighted to welcome guests from the Ministry of Health and Welfare of the Republic of Korea, and also relevant institutions including WHO, Korea Academy of Family Medicine, Health Insurance Review and Assessment, as well as Seoul National University. We're truly pleased to have you all gather here and have a great expectation for the lively conversations going forward. Thank you once again. And to start, I would like to introduce our esteemed guest speakers for the opening ceremony. And first and foremost, we'll hear from President Il-Soo Ha of KOFI, who will deliver the opening remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Korea Foundation for International Healthcare, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this special forum commemorating 2025 General Assembly of KOFI Global Alumni. This year's forum holds special significance as it is held in conjunction with WONCA 2025 Asia Pacific Regional Conference. And today, we are particularly privileged to be joined by global experts in healthcare system. United by our shared commitment to strengthening primary healthcare, we have come together to reinforce resilient health systems and to advance global health solidarity. This gathering will provide a meaningful platform for open dialogue, collaboration, and exchange of ideas. Together, we will identify creative and innovative solutions to the challenges we are facing primary healthcare worldwide. As a public institution under the Ministry of Health and Welfare, KOFI remains steadfast in its mission to strengthen primary health care and promote equitable healthcare system. The Coffee Global Alumni Network, established through the I종욱펠로우십 program, has grown up into a dynamic and influential community, now comprising more than 1,400 active members across 12 countries. I am very confident that this forum will offer valuable insight and inspiration for all participants, while also fostering lasting networks for the continued sharing of questions, experiences, and wisdom. Before closing, I would like to extend my deep appreciation to the Ministry of Health and Welfare of the Republic of Korea for their unwavering support, to the representatives of World Health Organization and our partner countries, and to the members of KGA and Korean Academy of Family Medicine for their valuable participation. And finally, to COFFEE members for their excellent organization of this forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Ha, for opening today's event with warm remarks. Your speech reminded how important and wonderful our journey is that we're taking together, and we hope for a brighter conclusion and collaboration going forward. Thank you. And next, we have a congratulatory address from a representative of the Ministry of Health and Welfare of the Republic of Korea. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Director General Junho Choi.
Good afternoon. I'm Junho Choi, Director General for International Cooperation, Ministry of Health and Welfare of the Republic of Korea. From now on, I'll deliver the congratulatory speech in Korean, and translation will be served. 네, 여러분 안녕하십니까? 저는 보건복지부 국제협력관 최준호 국장입니다.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, good afternoon. My name is Junho Choi, Director General of the International Cooperation at the Ministry of Health and Welfare.
먼저 국내 여러 전문가님들과 이종욱펠로우십 동문 여러분들을 모시고 오늘 이 뜻깊은 2025년 코피 글로벌 동문회 한국총회 기념 포럼을 개최하게 된 걸 매우 뜻깊게 생각합니다.
It is truly meaningful to host the 2025 Kofi Global Alumni General Assembly in Korea Commemorative Forum with domestic and international experts and Lee Jong-uk Fellowship alumni.
먼저 오늘 기조연설을 맡아주신 세계보건기구 파라스 칼리드 박사님, 그리고 특별 강연을 준비해 주신 서울대학교 권순만 교수님, 그리고 아시아 각국을 대표하여 소중한 경험과 성과를 공유해 주실 이종욱펠로우십 연수생 동문 여러분들께 진심으로 감사드립니다.
I would like to express my gratitude to Dr. Faraz Khalid from the World Health Organization for his keynote speech, Professor Sunman Kwon from Seoul National University for his special lecture, and to all the alumni fellows representing various Asian countries who will share their valuable experiences and achievements.
오늘 이런 뜻깊은 행사를 마련해 주신 한국국제보건의료재단 하일수 이사장님과 직원 여러분들, 그리고 대한가정의학회 한성호 회장님과 강재헌 이사장님, 그리고 이 자리에 참석해 주신 모든 관계자분들께 감사의 마음도 함께 전합니다.
I would also like to show sincere gratitude to President Il-soo Han and the staff of Korea Foundation for International Healthcare, President Sung-ho Han and Chairman Jae-hyun Kang of the Korea Academy of Family Medicine, and all those in attendance for arranging this meaningful occasion.
이 자리에 계시는 모든 분들이 잘 알다시피 한 국가의 보건의료 제도가 안정적으로 발전하고 정착하기 위해서는 무엇보다 보건의료 인력에 대한 체계적이고 지속적인 역량 강화가 필수적이라고 생각합니다.
As all of you who are here today are well aware, for a country's healthcare system to stabilize and develop continuously, systemic and sustained capacity building of healthcare professionals is essential above all else.
아까 하일수 이사장님이 설명해 주셨듯이 고 이종욱 WHO 사무총장님의 정실 계승에서 2007년부터 시작된 이종욱 펠로우십은 지금까지 30개국 1,600여 명의 보건의료 인재를 양성했습니다. 그래서 한국을 대표하는 보건 ODA의 프로그램으로 자리매김해 왔습니다.
Dr. Lee Jong-wook Fellowship, which began in 2007, inheriting the spirit of the late Dr. Lee Jong-wook, former WHO Director General, has cultivated approximately 1,600 healthcare professionals from 30 countries, establishing itself as a flagship program of Korea's health official development assistance.
이 자리에 함께 하시고 또 현지에서 열심히 활동하고 계시는 이종욱 펠로우십 수료생분들은 한국에서 습득한 지식과 기술을 바탕으로 세계 각국의 보건의료 현장에서 중추적인 역할을 수행하고 있고 또 보건의료 체계의 실질적인 개선을 이끌어 나가고 있습니다.
Including all of you who are here today and the ones who are actively working in local communities, the graduates are playing pivotal roles in healthcare settings across their respective countries, leading substantial improvements in healthcare systems based on the knowledge and skills acquired in Korea.
오늘 KGA 한국총회 기념 포럼은 이러한 수료생분들의 연수 이후 활동과 성과를 조명하는 한편 국제보건의료 네트워크 속에서 더 큰 협력의 가능성을 함께 모색하기 위한 교류의 장으로 준비하였습니다.
Today's KGA Commemorative Forum is designed as a platform for exchange to highlight these graduates' post-training activities and achievements, and also to explore greater possibilities for collaboration within the international healthcare network.
특히 최근 감염병의 확산 그리고 만성질환 증가 등으로 인해 많은 국가에서는 1차 보건의료 체계의 중요성이 더욱 부각되고 있습니다. 이러한 점에서 오늘 포럼의 주제인 1차 보건의료 체계에 있어 KGA의 역할은 매우 시의적절하고 중요한 주제라고 생각합니다.
In particular, as the importance of primary healthcare systems is being increasingly emphasized in many countries due to the spread of the infectious diseases and the rise of chronic conditions, I believe today's forum's theme, the role of KGA in primary healthcare PHC systems, is extremely timely and relevant.
오늘 포럼은 인재양성 프로그램이 각국의 1차 보건의료 체계에 미친 영향과 성과를 되돌아보고 또 앞으로 협력을 확대할 수 있는 방안에 대해 논의하는 그런 소중한 기회가 될 것입니다.
I hope this forum provides a valuable opportunity to reflect on the impact and achievements of human resource development programs on primary healthcare systems in each country and to discuss ways to expand future cooperation.
대한민국 보건복지부는 한국국제보건의료재단과 협력해서 앞으로도 계속 인재양성 ODA를 확대하고 내실해 나가겠습니다. 그리고 국가별 동문회 정례화와 동문 네트워크 플랫폼 구축 등 사후 프로그램을 지속 강화하고 또 각국의 보건의료 역량 강화 및 지속 가능한 개발 목표 달성을 위해 글로벌 협력에 적극 동참해 나가겠습니다.
Our Ministry of Health and Welfare, in collaboration with the Korea Foundation for International Healthcare, will continue to expand and strengthen our human resource development ODA while also reinforcing follow-up management programs such as regularizing country-specific alumni meetings and building alumni network platforms. Also, we will actively participate in global cooperation for strengthening healthcare workforce capabilities in each country and achieving sustainable development goals.
다시 한번 오늘 포럼 개최를 축하드리고 또 이 자리에 참석하신 모든 분들이 정말 유익하고 뜻깊은 시간 되시길 기원합니다. 그리고 아름다운 항구 도시인 부산에서 한국의 봄을 마음껏 누리시고 가시길 기원드리겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Yes. Once again, congratulations on holding today's forum, and I hope it'll be a beneficial and meaningful time for all of you throughout the event. And once again, additionally, now because this event is held in the beautiful port city of Busan, I hope you make beautiful memories before you go back home. Thank you. Thank you, Director General Choi, for your kind words and encouragement. Also, thank you for gracing this occasion despite your busy schedule. And next, we're honored to invite Director Haejin Jung of the Lee Jong-uk Academy at Kofi to the stage. Director Jung oversees the fellowship program, and she leads the memorial projects honoring the legacy of Dr. Lee Jong-uk, and she'll introduce today's special lecturer, as well as following presentations. Please join me in welcoming Director Jung with a big round of applause.
It is my great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Faraz Khalid, a leading primary health care specialist at the World Health Organization. Today, he will share, Dr. Khalid has devoted his career to strengthening global primary health care with a focus on evidence-based strategies that advance access, equity, and quality. Drawing on broad international experience, he offers deep insights into broadening, transforming health systems towards universal health coverage. And today he will share 3 innovative global initiatives shaping the future of primary health care. His keynote, Leveraging Evidence to Accelerate PHC Transformations, 3 novel global products. We'll also explore opportunities for collaboration with programs like Dr. Lee Jong-uk Fellowship Program. And to advance our shared goals. So please join me welcoming Dr. Faraz Khalid.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, a huge shout out and big thanks to KOFI, Korean Development Corporation, Korean Ministry of Health, colleagues from Ministries of Health, Korean Academy of Family Medicine for inviting me. It's indeed a very humbling experience for me, following the footsteps of one of our Director Generals who was from Korea, Dr. Lee Jong. And indeed, my coming here and being with you is actually an extension of and a continuation of the exchanges which we had with KOFI, specifically with Dr. Jong for spanning over the last 1 year. And I must appreciate, I think, the precision, the specificity which exists within Korean system in general. Because there are at least 4 colleagues who asked me that when we introduce you onto the podium, how should we spell your name? Should we say Khalid, Khalid, Khalid? So I mean, I really appreciate, I think, the Korean precision and how attention to the details. So it's indeed a great start for me coming here, and that humbles me and puts pressure on me, what I'll be sharing with you in next 18 to 20 minutes. All right, so the work which I'll be sharing with you, let me first again say that it is not something coming out of vacuum. It is coming out of last 45 years of work. And by no means I want to emphasize that it's only these global reports and declarations which have shaped up the agenda. But these are some of the landmark seminal pieces of work which continue to inspire how do we define and operationalize primary health care. May it be 1978 Declaration of Alma-Ata, 2008 World Health Report on PHC More Than Ever, 2010 World Health Report on Health System Financing, the Path to UHC. Professor Soon Mon, one I think was key contributor to such global reports. 2016's Framework on Integrated People-Centered Health Services, and 2018 Declaration of Astana. May I do a quick quiz in this room? How many of you really know the Declaration of Alma-Ata? Have you heard about Declaration of Alma-Ata? Do you want to raise your hands? How many of you have heard about? All right, about 5 to 10% people. How many of you have heard about this 2018 Declaration of Astana? All right, less than 5% people. So we have a big task at hand, Dr. Jung. So we have a big task at hand. How many of you have heard about this 2010 World Health Report on health systems financing, the path to UHC? How many of you have heard about it? Again, less than 10%. Dr. Soonman, there's a huge amount of work needs to be done here. All right, moving forward. But again, I say that these global reports are not the only pieces of work. It's what I was just saying on a lighter note, because a lot of work is happening in the countries. It may not be captured in those global reports. National, subnational, regional work, they draw inspiration and they lead to such global reports. I mean, here, again, I won't do another quiz, but these are some of those: Declaration of Astana, the vision for primary healthcare in the 21st century, the operational framework of primary healthcare, and then PHC monitoring framework and indicators. How many of you have heard about any one of them? Please raise your hand. All right, it's less than 2 to 3%. All right, good. So that's at least good to know that the spectrum on which we are operating, because if you are working on primary healthcare or aim to work on primary healthcare, these are some of the key references you may want to look into. I'm not saying these are either Bible or Quran, but just saying that these are some pieces of evidence which have consolidated the latest thinking on primary healthcare reforms. And specifically in this conference, if the overarching aim is to foster a collaborative understanding on them, I think these are some of the key references you want to carry with your baggage back home. So these are the 3 pieces I will be talking about today on 3 priority areas in recent global products, from evidence synthesis to knowledge management and collaborative learning. First is how we have been recently synthesizing the implementation of primary healthcare reforms. Then how are we organizing this literature, this evidence, making it available to countries, and then how we can collaborate to have a joint learning agenda. So first, evidence on the what and how. This is what recently Dr. Tedros in 2023 said, the DG WHO. Primary healthcare is one of the most important concepts in public health and also one of the most misunderstood concepts. So why we thought, where already I showed with you several global declarations, global reports, but why this latest global report on implementing the primary healthcare approach was needed. So first, despite we know there is agreement on the importance of primary healthcare, there are significant challenges to its understanding and how to implement this primary healthcare approach. Secondly, to implement on, we know about what, but there is less evidence on how countries have been using different levers, operational or strategic levers, to maximize the impact of primary healthcare. So for this global report was synthesized. The methodology used was through narrative reviews of scientific and gray literature, which analyzed key findings, trends, knowledge gaps, and it was supplemented by more than 50 country case studies. And it was authored by more than 70 global PHC experts, supplemented by more than 50 WHO colleagues across the 3 tiers of the organization. I wish I had more space in my baggage to carry around 150 copies of the summary. I could only bring 30, which I have posted here. But don't worry, across my presentation, I'll be sharing some barcodes. You can scan them. I think in your handouts, you also have those barcodes. You can download the global report from there. So this global report, it has 3 main parts. So the first part is understanding primary healthcare, its history of around 45 years. I'm not saying the primary healthcare concept started in Alma-Ata in 1978, but the political economy of primary healthcare across decades, its power to change the models of care. Second is the evidence on the strategies on different strategic and operational levers, how countries have been using health workforce, governance, financing, information and digital technologies. They're engaging private sector, different governance arrangements, how they're making their systems using PHC approach more climate resilient, so on and so forth. So this second section of this global report, it is on these levers. And third, which is my favorite section, is this PHC's potential to achieve health systems objective, to improve the health system, because normally one of the questions asked is that, is PHC approach an aspiration? It's more a goal, it's a way. What are the documented evidence that it really improves health systems performance? So this third section in this global report, it concludes by bringing evidence from, as I said, more than 50 countries, that how PHC approach has been helpful for countries in improving its efficiency, equity, quality. With this, as I said, this is one global report which could not capture all what is happening across the world. So for this, if you just Google PHC country cases, that how different countries are implementing, you will find a good number of great literature coming across different websites, search engines. So for this, we thought that we should develop a PHC case study, country case study compendium, which could be a global catalog for capturing different publications, specifically on how of PHC evidence. It's a web-based tool, which is available on WHO's website. It has searchable filters. Some of them are shown. It's basic, simple search, which you can use. And one of the examples here is that it helps you categorize the evidence, the case studies by income level, different PHC components, the 3 components of PHC approach: integrated health services, community engagement, multi-sectoral action, policy. If you have emerging country cases from your countries, feel free to write on this website. We'll be happy to publish through a review process your country case study, how you've been implementing the primary healthcare reforms. Building on it, we have also fine-tuned a methodology of horizontal analysis, how on a certain specific topic we can use this case study compendium to review the literature. Here is one example which we did for sexual, reproductive, and healthcare, how we searched using the compendium, using different search terms, how the data gets extracted, how we have used a simple methodology for review, and then we validated with topic experts, and how it could be used by policymakers and practitioners. So this is the second product which I shared with you. One was the global report, which has more than 50 country case studies. Second is this PHC case study compendium, which has around 300 case studies on how countries are reforming their health systems using PHC approach. And now I move towards investing in leadership for primary healthcare. And this is something we have been having regular exchanges with our COFI colleagues, Dr. Jin, that how we can take it to countries. And I'll briefly share what the global course is about and how we are preparing a country-focused version of it. So this is something from World Health Assembly resolution, which specifically asks to develop institutional capacities and leadership for primary healthcare reforms. If I click it, will the video get played up? Let me ask the IT team. I just click it. All right, let's see if the magic plays. I do it again.
Primary health care is the cornerstone of our joint efforts to advance universal health coverage and the health-related SDGs. But what does it take to reorient governments, partners, and health systems toward the primary health care, or PHC, approach? The answer starts with strong, pragmatic leadership that can navigate the complexities of our time.
Policymakers around the world face critical questions. How do we best integrate high-quality individual and population-based care and services? How can we foster cross-sector collaboration and tackle the broader determinants of health? And how do we empower communities to actively participate in their own health and well-being?
We invite you to join the new WHO course, Strengthening Primary Healthcare Leadership, hosted by the WHO Academy, that has been specifically designed to help decision makers understand the PHC approach, recognize its social and economic benefits, and take forward the commitment of WHO member states to PHC as the foundation for achieving health for all.
This course, featuring 10 modules over 12 weeks, blends flexible online learning with virtual regional sessions. Facilitated by leading primary healthcare experts, the course is designed to equip senior decision and policymakers with the knowledge and tools needed to reorient health systems.
Through this course, you will gain a deeper understanding of the PHC approach and its three major elements: strategies for integrating health services, multi-sectoral policy and action, and community engagement with people's empowerment.
You will not only learn from global best practices, but also build a valuable network of peers who are equally committed to transforming health systems and accelerating progress towards universal health coverage.
Together, we can achieve health for all.
All right. So, by any chance, how many of you heard about this PHC leadership course? All right, there are 2-3% people. Okay, not bad. We announced the Pathfinder call for the global leadership course in last November. We received more than 2,700 applications from 155 countries. There was a huge interest. And since the course required quite intensive facilitation for the Pathfinder edition, we could only accommodate 116 participants from 77 countries across 6 WHO regions. This course, as I mentioned, was run on WHO Academy learning platform. It was delivered over the 10 weeks with 80 plus hours course of engagement by the participants. It had weekly regional sessions. In total, there were 60 regional sessions done, 10 per region, and 3 global sessions. There was regular engagements happening, peer-to-peer pairings and discussions happening in live sessions, but also on the digital platform. This is how the learning journey looks like. The course, as I said, is delivered usually over the 10 weeks. The current global version of the course, it has 4 sections: why primary healthcare is important, people-driven transformations, the 3 components of the PHC approach, and leading change, with emphasis on leadership, governance, political economy, leading with compassion. And course participants, along this, they work on their implementation project, which is purely customized to their country needs. Happy to share further details on this journey. Time doesn't allow me to take you through some of the projects which were submitted by the course participants, how it provided them, the PHC approach provides them an avenue to tackle routine immunization and polio eradication, PHC relevance in humanitarian settings, bridging gaps in resource allocation, how PHC is helpful for vulnerable groups and refugees in Ukraine, how PHC is helpful in addressing type 2 diabetes, and how this approach is helpful in addressing high out-of-pocket spending. From the Pathfinder edition, what we have seen is that there's high interest amongst the countries. There is a greater amount of work which needs to be done to customize it for regional and countries. Language in some contexts still remains a challenge. So for us as WHO, translating it to other UN languages is one of the next steps. And we understand such a leadership course, which is intensive, it requires 10 weeks of engagement. In parallel to that, as expressed by the feedback which we have from the participants, we're already working on a 2-hour short course, country-focused iterations, and a global webinar series on PHC in practice to keep these alumni and the broader PHC community engaged. I will briefly talk in next 2 to 3 minutes about the country-focused iterations, specifically with which we are having conversations with our coffee colleagues. That we have received feedback that, let's say in a global version of the course, which is online only, They are participants from large populous countries. We could only accommodate 2 to 3 people. And they said that we come from a country of, let's say, 20 million. There were few participants from India, from 1.5 billion people. They're saying, like, if you select 3 people from India, it's not a critical mass to inform the reforms, right? So similarly, large populous countries, you need a critical mass of people, at least 30, 40, 50, 60 people, who have that shared understanding of what PHC-oriented reforms mean and how to take it from there. So hence, we are currently exploring avenues that how we should have a country-focused version in person, which could be run on a hybrid model, where some content could be delivered virtually, but we bring course participants in person for a day, for 5 to 7 days, so that there is a genuine interaction in person amongst the country cohort, but it could be supplemented by virtual interactions. As I said, the objective of the country-focused version is it could be tailored to country contexts, supporting a critical mass of shared understanding, and to help them develop those required skills, knowledge, and collaboration to accelerate progress towards UHC. The key features, I won't go into the details, is, as I briefly mentioned, we will retain the 10-module structure, which has been developed with an effort of about last 2.5 years, but different activities of the course can be customized, different quizzes, different group projects could be customized for the country context, and we aim to run that in a hybrid model with central focus being having a country cohort delivered in the country, and that's something with COFI alumni, with COFI administration, we are really looking forward to that, how through COFI country offices, WHO country offices, with the alumni being there, and I'll be keenly having bilateral discussions with different country delegates, because each one of you is a leader, a change agent in your countries, that how we can help build such a critical mass in your countries through such a leadership course, which could be built into the country reform process. The idea is not to do a capacity building activity for the sake of it, but really to plug in a country focus of the leadership course into the country reform process, jointly with key partners like COFI, and that's something with Dr. Jen, we have been having detailed conversations. Happy to have further bilateral conversations. In your, I think, the handouts, you have the barcodes for all these products. But along the week, happy to continue our bilateral conversations. Again, a big thanks to Korean Development Corporation, COFI, for bringing me here, and looking forward to our further collaboration. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you so much, Dr. Khalid, for your insightful presentation on global innovations in primary healthcare transformation. Interactive presentations, including Q&As, I think are always the best. Thank you for captivating the audience's attention on the rightful and great topic and subject. And before we move on to the next speaker, I would like to invite our esteemed guests seated at the first 2 rows of tables on the stage for a group photo opportunity to commemorate the successful opening of the 2025 KGA General Assembly Commemorative Forum. For that, as you can see, 6 chairs are being set on stage. And yes, VIPs on the 2 first tables, please come up to the stage and join us for photo opportunity. All right, please scoot over to your left. All the VIPs, scoot over to your left so that the photo is well centered. If some of you can kindly go to the right side of the stage or the left side of the stage, it will be appreciated. So the second row, you have to scoot kindly over to your left. A few steps further. Yes. Or maybe the two ladies can join on the opposite side. Yes, please. Make sure that your faces are well shown, not covered by your colleagues. 됐나요? 작가님? 네. All right. Looking perfect. Bright smiles, please. Show your best smiles to celebrate the beautiful spring of Busan. Show your best smiles, ladies and gentlemen. Smiles, I don't see your teeth. Cheese. 됐나요? 네, 감사합니다. Thank you for your cooperation. All right. Thank you for joining us for the photo opportunity. From now on, we are going to now take a short break before moving on to session 2. Please enjoy light refreshments and take this opportunity to network with your fellow participants. But please do not forget to be back to the room by 2:45 Korea time. In session 2, KGA fellows from 6 Asian countries are going to share their individual journey and stories. Now, enjoy your break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to session 2 of today's forum. I know that breaks are always too short, but we have a great program ahead of us. So please look forward to all the wonderful sessions that are about to come and be brought about. In this session, we're going to hear inspiring case studies from alumni of the 이종욱펠로우십 program across 6 countries in Asia. And these presentations showcase their transformative contributions to primary healthcare systems in their respective nations. And Director of Lee Jong-uk Academy, Ms. Haejin Jung, will introduce the speakers of the session. Please welcome her again with a big round of applause.
Good afternoon again. To begin session 2, we are pleased to welcome Professor Kwon-Soon Man from Seoul National University for a special lecture on digital transformation for universal health coverage. It is my great honor to introduce a distinguished scholar and a most beloved mentor in the field of health policy. Professor Kwon-Soon Man is a globally respected authority in health economics and policy. Throughout his career, he has made tremendous contributions to the development of health systems, not only for Korea, but also across the globe. Many of us in the Lee Jong-uk Fellowship Program know him as the most cherished project manager, guiding, nurturing, and inspiring a new generation of health policy experts with dedication and wisdom. At present, he continues to lead the health policy, health finance and economics course with the same passion and excellence. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to the Professor Kwon.
Thanks a lot. It's my great honor to join this meeting and meet all of you. I know, I'm still thinking what is the best way to entertain you, because many of you arrived in Korea in the weekend, so still have a jet lag. And also you have some good lunch, so some of you may feel tired or sleepy. So, sorry I cannot dance, but let's begin. So I worked in the ADB, and I can share some of my experience with you today. So, digital health. It seems to me there are a lot of hope and expectation about the role of digital health. But it seems to me it's a bit of over-optimism about digital health. Okay, I'm saying over-optimism. It is very important, but sometimes too much too much hope. And my view about digital health is basically this is a means, okay, means, not the ends. Our ends, our goal from health system, health policy perspective is a better health, equitable health. That's our goal, never changing goal. But digital health can be a good vehicle, tools to achieve that goal rather than goal itself. In contrast, I think, PHC is so important. It seems to me, I was at the MPH program in 1988 and 89. We talked about PhD even at that time. Still, this is so important, but I think the major problem is political economy. Why we are still struggling with PhD? From my experience of working in ADB, when I had a policy dialogue with key policymakers, Minister of Health, Minister of Finance in many low-income countries, I suggest, hey, Minister, we can help you invest in PhD. Can you imagine what is their answer? They tell me, hey, Prof, we can use our own funds to strengthen our PhD. Please fund us to build several tertiary care hospitals, National Cancer Center. See? That's politics. I think many of you know that, what your minister wants, really. They are not very keen to build many small primary health centers around the country. Rather, they are so keen to building a big national center in the capital city with their big name, plaque. This hospital was built when Minister blah, blah, was something like that. Yeah, you know that. And also, in many countries, primary healthcare centers, or PHC, is at the hands of local government, not really at the hands of central government. There's huge political economy. Anyway, have you waken up? Okay. So context, we have COVID-19 gave us an opportunity to think about this importance of telehealth to mitigate, overcome the access issues during the pandemic, lockdowns, and we used digital technology in surveillance, case identification, vaccination. But still, we also experience many challenges, such as the vaccines issues. There's a huge humiliation, I think. In many high-income countries, there are so many vaccines overstocked, wasted, whereas in many low-income countries, they don't have enough amount of vaccines. And also telehealth, there are a lot of quality, privacy issues. So these are some context of digital health. And I think this is a very important framework to view digital health. My good friend Faraz is here from WHO, but not only we support WHO, but this provides a very important, nice perspective because it starts with the challenges, problems. Why do we need a digital health? Okay? Because we want to solve some problems, key challenges in healthcare sectors. So these are the problems. And then these are the potential digital health solutions to solve or mitigate those challenges. And these others. So I'll give you a few examples, like a telehealth. Many of you know what telehealth is, teleconsultation. Some countries allowed digital, virtual consultation, not only from a second and third on consultation, but even from the first encounters. And also telehealth has an important policy tool for efficiency and equity of the service delivery. And it was quite effective to strengthen the primary healthcare And it contributed to reducing the unnecessary utilization of specialty services. So, in a sense, we can use this telehealth to improve the continuum of care, and it can even be used for the capacity buildings and educations for providers and patients. And also mobile health, like we use various apps, like smartphones apps, wearables, and SMS, especially quite effective for the NCD management, okay? And medication compliances, and also provide social support for older people, for example. And this has meant there are many cases of the contribution of this mobile health for the effective management of NCDs. But we still have kind of concerns on quality and safeties of these consultations, and what happens if this physician consultation is across the board. So it's not just a single country issues, it can be multiple country issues. So that's why you need a global and regional coordination and harmonization of policies, standard settings, and regulations. And also, we still face some vested interest groups. For example, in the case of Korean Medical Association, they are opposed to the idea of teleconsultations, a bit unique context, because they are competing with the hospital outpatient sector, and they are worried that this teleconsultation may be even impetus for the big hospitals to expand their market share. And there are many smart care kind of things, especially in Korea. We have smart hospital pilots and initiatives. We can use this smart hospital concept for two-way communications between physicians and patients, and checking and monitoring patients with digital technologies, and also kind of a conventional type of IT-based solutions for hospital management issues like inventory management and waste management. And also during this COVID-19, Korea used a remote operations of intensive care units. And this type of smart care can be used also for older people, so-called active assisted living and aging in place, AIP. So it can used to actively monitoring and early detection of danger signals of old people, and the regular checking on biometrics, and also it can be used for emotional support, okay, for those who live alone, who suffer from loneliness, and it can be used for physical exercise and then giving alarms for taking medicines. So there are a lot of initiatives for smart hospital pilot and AIP smart care pilots in Korea and other countries. So this is concept of smart hospital. And with this smart hospital, smart care, and also telehealth, we can get a lot of good data. And this data can be effectively used for like AI and other digital health technologies. So as you know, we start from electronic medical records, and we move to electronic health record. Now we expand to a personal health record, because electronic medical record is based on hospitals or healthcare provider level. It can be extended to the health level, go beyond the individual provider, so based on individual, but still it is limited to the healthcare utilization data. Whereas we know that in terms of the predicting health of an individual, healthcare utilization is only about, it works for about 10 or 20% of contribution to explain to the health outcomes. Then that means that we need all other types of information, for example, vaccination, public health interventions, or genetics, lifelong data. And in that context, it's very important to have a good standardization of data and interoperability, because we should collect data from different sources. So unless we have a good interoperability, it takes a lot of time to merge and collect all those data. And these type of big data or big data can be effectively used for so-called precision medicine or precision public health, but we're also concerned about privacy, safety, and ethics in the link, sharing, collection, and use of the data. So this is how compared to other sectors, healthcare is experiencing one of the largest increase in the use of data, even much greater than other sectors. And this type of big data and AI can be used for medicines and devices. We already experienced a vaccines becoming a game changer during the COVID-19, and it took much less time to develop vaccines, partly thanks to this type of big data and AI-based research and development and drug development. And also these days, we have some kind of digital therapeutics, although there are some issues whether some digital therapeutics are really cost-effective, whether health insurance system covers those digital therapeutics in the benefit package or not. But there are some developments of digital therapeutics such that it gives us a simultaneous prevention, treatment, and management at the same time. And also digital technology for healthcare financing is another important area for digital health. As you know, when healthcare providers send their claims to healthcare finance insurance agency or financing agency can use a effective digital technology for the review and assess of those claims. So in the Korean healthcare systems, like a health insurance agency or health insurance review and assessment service are one of those effective users of those data. So that means those digital health can be an important tool for the so-called strategic purchasing. Okay? So purchasing agency, insurance agency, government should make a rational decision based on good data, based on digital health framework to decide which services to cover, how much to pay to provider, how to monitor consumer behavior, how to monitor provider behavior. So this is an effective tool for the evidence-based healthcare financing. But there are also some challenges. As I mentioned at the beginning, why do we need digital health? As I said, this is not goals. This is not our final ends, but rather it is, we hope it is an effective tools, means to achieve our goal of universal health coverage. In other words, this digital health can be an effective tool for the person-centered, interconnected universal health services. Because currently, when patient needs health care, patient should visit primary care doctors, visit hospitals, and visit long-term care services. Whereas with this digital health in good framework, then person stays at home, for example, and they can get an access to physician consultation through, virtual consultations. So all necessary services are effectively connected and coordinated for the benefit of the person or patients. I think that's the vision and goal that we are aiming to go. So interconnected universal health coverage with patient or person-centeredness. And also, equity is a concern. Okay? Because if digital health is a powerful tool to achieve good access, universal health coverage, that means if there's an inequity in the use or access to digital health, it can result in the inequity in our health. So we should be concerned about the equity in the access to technology or digital divide, digital literacy to achieve equitable health outcomes. It is not just a domestic one country level equity, but there is also a global level equity issues as we experienced in the case of equity in vaccine access during this COVID-19. So in that case, how to make a decision on digital health that can truly contribute to the equitable health outcomes. So in that case, I think it is very important to have a participatory or health policy making or good governance in health policy making, such that we need communication with the citizens, with the patients, and also we should make sure that the patient citizens participate in the design, priority setting, and implementation of digital health-related policy. Healthcare providers, as you know, in the healthcare sector, providers play an important role in the adoption, dissemination, and use of technology. So we need to make sure they get new education or retraining, make them more sensitive, so sensitize the providers in the use of digital technology. And sometimes, as I mentioned, unfortunately, medical profession can be vested interest groups. So we need to take into account how to persuade them and how to include them and how to make sure that they contribute to the digital health policies. And also as a concentration, because when the digital health framework or technology is so prevalent, potential disadvantage, potential side effect is that increase the concentration. That means decrease the competition, potentially. So also we should take care of the potential side effects of this decreased competition. And multi-sectoral approach is not just the Ministry of Health, but there are huge innovations usually coming from Ministry of Technology or Ministry of Economy or Industry. But their main concern is not health. So from the Ministry of Health, we need to communicate, collaborate with the Ministry of Science or Economy or Industry or Tech Industry to make sure that their products or their technology can contribute to the health of the population. Also in that case, we cannot avoid a good public-private partnerships or the collaboration with the private sector. Role of the government, regulation versus innovation. Health deals with the health and life issues. Many of them are irreversible. So that's why we cannot avoid a good regulation of the safety and efficacy of digital health or other technology. So we need a good balance between the regulation and innovation, good balance between safety and availability of technological innovations. In a sense, many tech industry say that the too tight regulation is a barrier to innovation, but good regulation, or if we can make sure that this technology is cost beneficial, safe, and effective, then we can further, this guaranteed safety and efficacy can contribute to the more dissemination of technology in the sector. So research and development is very important in the context of Korea. Government put a lot of money actually in the research and development in the healthcare sector and other industry. Recent public sector R&D, like a government R&D as a percentage of GDP, Korea is number 1 or 2 in the world. So industrial development or make technology available to people is not coming from the private sector alone. It doesn't fall from the heaven. Government needs to invest in the research and development. This research and development, I'm not talking just about this basic science. We need to make sure we invest in basic science, applied research, translational research. So in that case, there are huge uncertainty for the private sector about the success of these products. So in that case, it's more important for the government to invest R&D in the early stage of the innovations. I think also, as I mentioned, that the coverage and reimbursement by healthcare financing is important. Some of your countries already have some kind of health insurance system, or government tax financing, and whether some specific telehealth applications or services are covered by health insurance or not, that has a huge impact on this dissemination. And that kind of decision should be made by a good scientific evidence or cost effectiveness. And sometimes we cannot avoid the tension between health policy goals and industrial policy goals because, as I mentioned earlier, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Industry, Ministry of Economy, they have different goals from the Ministry of Health. So we need a good collaboration and harmonization and also discussions. This is final, so we need a good innovation-friendly ecosystem, a bit related to the research and development, and also, finally, the good mechanism for the cooperation between different countries, different regions. So in that case, also WHO can do a good, very important role in the harmonization of the standard and government policies and regulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Kwon, for your presentation. Great insights of achieving UHC in digital era. Due to the time constraints, I would like to ask our fellows to make the presentation concise yet impactful. We now move on to our series of country presentations by alumni representatives from 6 Asian countries. First up is Laos. Representing Laos, we have 2 presenters. The first presenter is Dr. Let me pronounce it right. Phaelai Zaisompet. Yes, please welcome her.
Okay. Yes, okay. Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Again, my name is Dr. Phaelai Zaisompet, Deputy Head of Pathology and Forensic Medicine Department, Faculty of Medicine, University of Health Science, Lao PDR. I have been an alumni of Dr. I종욱펠로우십 program since 2013, and I have opportunity to participate in 2023 of KGA activity. Today, I would like to present you that I done in KGA activity on topics cervical cancer and cervical cancer screening and FNA in Sieng Khwaang and Hua Phan province. First, I will start with the background and let you know. As we know, early stage of cervical cancer can be detected by using conventional pap smear. However, in my country, cervical cancer screening service are primarily available only in Vientiane capital. As that the research from Lao National Cancer Center, so that's cervical cancer, the most common cancer in the Lao women, despite being preventable through vaccination and copper screening. Implementing cervical cancer screening service in community hospital presents significant challenge. For the Lao women, that challenge includes limited resource, lack of awareness, and insufficient training for local health staff. On of this can hinder effective screening effort. Additionally, Sieng Khwaang and Hua Phan province, located in the northern parts of Laos, are home to various small ethnic groups who often lack access to this vital information. In this underscore the need for accessible screening service in the community. Moreover, enhancing the service has improved the knowledge of pap smear process, FNA examination, and management for cytology reports among local health staff. Next verse, the object of the process are as follows: to scale the multi-view microscopy for Department of Pathology and Forensic Medicine, Faculty of Medicine, University of Health Science, to enhance diagnostic capability in cervical cancer screening. to arrange healthcare staff for screening patients in provincial hospital of Siang Khwang and Hua Phan, as well as in 2 community hospitals. During this inhibition, we successfully performed 746 pap smear screening. To prepare slides using the Papa Nicolas stain for reading and diagnosis in accordance with Bethesda system for cytologic reports. The strategy implemented by University of Health Science team to conduct cervical cancer screening for 5 inclusive days in each province, provide brief lecture for local health staff and equip them with material for pap smear and FNA, including transfer on slide back to Vientiane for review. Ensure that cytopathology makes final diagnosis and reports any abnormality to gynecologists. As a part of our activity, within a half day, 2 lectures for local health staff covering the following topics: principle of FNA and fixation process, cancer registration in Laos, the importance of cytology diagnosis, principle of pap smear and fixation process, cell examination of breast, and management of cytology report. During our screening activity, we provide health education on cervical cancer screening using conventional pap smear to local community. We also demonstrate the correlation of performance simple to FNA along with the conventional pap smear techniques and history taking. With local health practitioners has the opportunity to learn with experts during this session. This is the result of screening. As you can see on the table, we have 4 cases of high seal, 3 cases of SCAD-H, and 2 cases of AGC, 4 cases of SCAD among 321 cases in Siang Khwang province. Behind us, we have 1 case of high seal, 1 case of SCAD-H, and 3 cases of SCAD among 425 cases in Hua Phan province. For the FNA, we perform only 15 cases. With 14 is the breast lesion. With benign lesion, just only 1 case, but atypical proliferation diagnosis. After that, the case with abnormality lesion by diagnosis, we has been advised to undergo biopsy for further treatment. Outcome of the project: the training health lens surveillance of cervical cancer, breast cancer among women in the community. Women can become more aware of cervical cancer symptoms and important to seeing treatment following by abnormality cytology results. Participants learn the proper technique for collecting pap smear and sending them for the consultation. Participants learn proper technique on how to perform cell-based examination and FNA. Additionally, local women receive free cervical cancer screening through pap smear and FNA. For future plans, we aim to launch similar projects in other provinces focusing cervical cancer screening and FNA in provincial hospitals that lack of cytologists. In addition, we will provide health education on the local community, particularly addressing women's health issues and addressing awareness of cervical cancer, breast cancer, and other additional relative to performance. Through this project, our department received a multi-view microscopic from KGA activity. We really appreciate it and very grateful. We plan to launch short-term gynecologic cytology training course for GP, especially those in provincial area and community doctors who are interested in gynecologic cytology. And finally, we hope that this program and COFI will continue to support our team in strengthening our pathocytology feature in cytology effort in the future. So this is multi-view microscopic that we provided by KGA. On behalf of our department, I would like to extend sincere gratitude for your invaluable support. That's on my presentation. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jai Songkhet, for a very impactful presentation. Now we invite the second presenter from Laos, Mrs. Dasavan Bomani. Please welcome her.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dasavan Bunmani, Deputy Head of Nursing Department in Mahosot Hospital, Lao PDR. So I'm grateful for today to present you about the screening, the training of the gestational diabetes mellitus for the healthcare provider in Sieng Khwang and Hua Phan province. For our area is the same, the first of presentation. So now let's start with the overview for our objective with the first one to development of the knowledge of the healthcare provider on screening of the GDM and nursing the nutritional education of the GDM. And the second one, the to detect of the GDM in the pregnant woman. The third one is to provide the healthcare pregnant women who are detected for the GDM. Our project have the beneficial with the improve the knowledge of the healthcare provider with the true province. And the second one is the pregnant women scanning of the GDM. And the third one is the pregnant women who test the positive for the GDM will take the case management by the nursing and the nutritional counseling intervention follow-up. And with the 6 of the GDM patient from the true provincial hospital, we'll take the follow-up the blood glucose test and after meal. And the venue is the true provincial hospital. So now let's have a look with our background and the rationale that we know about the complication of the pregnant women who get the GDM. The first one, we also have the cesarean delivery and the preeclampsia. Then the subsequent of the development of the diabetes type 2, and also the shoulder dystocia, the neonatal hypoglycemia, respiratory distress syndrome, and also the starvation ketone bodies. And also we have the postprandial of the hypoglycemia. And now we have the statistic in the center hospital. On 2022, we have allowed the 6% in the center hospital, but the first KGA report in 2023, we found 22% at the same 4 center hospital. So according to our activity, so this we according diagnosis from the Ministry of Health and also the WHO to detect of the pregnant women between the first one is the first ANC and the second one with the, with the 24 to 28 weeks pregnancy. Also the positive case, we have the intervention by the nutrition intervention, exercise, cell glucose monitoring, and the insulin treatment. Also, if we can take the good management, we can support the case without this complication. So now, let's move on to our activity. We provide all the 4 steps. The first one with the training. By the training, we have the lecture and also the role play in there. And this also show you about the topic of our lecture. And the second one, we provide the equipment of the 2 provincial hospitals. The third one, we have the coaching and observation in the hospital with the real situation on there. We take the diagnosis process, and also we have the nutrition counseling, the case by case. And the third one, and we also have the screening for the each hospital for the 2 days in there. And by this, we have the follow-up, the diagnosis, follow-up the case management of the blood glucose test, and also we have the follow-up the nutrition counseling on there. And the result, unfortunately, with the remote area, we not finished, we running. Now it's bring to the end of the project. But we can know that by the 1,000 case in this, we have the around 12% of the positive case, but is beneficial of our management of case. On of 12%, they didn't get the treatment anymore. So our challenge, our activity is we understand that 2 provinces is the remote area, and also they have the gaps. The first one with the transportation, with the long distance, and also the road construction. And the second one, we have the ethnic group. The understanding and the concern about the health status of the pregnant woman is still low in there. And this will make a new point to get the recitation of the cultural sensitivity in pregnant women. And the third one is the guideline. Need to be diagnosed with the plasma glucose, but we have some issue, cannot take for on the plasma, but we take the rapid test. So the duration in here, we have only three months. To sum up, the result illustrates the high risk of the pregnant woman for the GDM. And the second one, to approve the provincial more difficult than center hospital. The third one is the healthcare provider. From this activity, they get more knowledge and the skill for the management of the GDM case. And the routine of the GDM screening will be helpful to reduce the MMR to achieve the SDG. The country will have the unit behind the target of the elegate of the decline maternal mortality by 2030. So the future plan for us, we try to support the GDM screening, take as a routine in the agency of the healthcare center in Laos. And the last one is the activity in rural area need to be extended more in the in the center hospital. And also we need to have the more, last but not least, need to have more the budget to support this activity in Laos too. Now it's bringing me to the end of the presentation. I would like to acknowledge with the KGA activity, the COFI official in Laos, and also the Mahusot Hospital and 2 provincial hospitals, and on the participants in our training. And thank you very much. 감사합니다.
Thank you, presenters from Laos, for sharing 2 impactful stories of clinical outreach in combination with primary healthcare level education. Next, we have Mongolia. Representing Mongolia, we have Dr. Ryum Tumgalik. Yes. They could not choose one activity. So they will present about maternal and child health, biomedical engineering, and nursing team. They put together their contributions to the healthcare sector in Mongolia. Please welcome her with a big round of applause.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for a big opportunity to speak our contributions in here. Thank you. Let me start. And from Mongolia, 4 of us coming to share our contributions to all of you. We are 2 of us, the doctors. One is the pediatrician, another one is the doctor of obstetrician and gynecology. And also our team have one biomedical engineering, and another one is nursing practitioner. So, well, the KGA in Mongolia, it's almost 80 members who has been studied in Korea and continuing their work in Mongolia. They're all continuing the successful work at home country. So we have a few meetings at the country, the KGA alumni meeting. So first is held in 2018 in February. It was almost the biggest one. And the next, to this meeting, we have been elected the president and other officers from KGA alumni. Let me say that one of our team members, Honorable Doctor of Mongolia, Dr. Hirschke, is now working as a president of the KGA Mongolia. So the next meeting was held in last year in December. Through this, we have talked to many things, how to improve our work throughout the Mongolia. So the next thing is the goal. Every member, every KGA would like to improve by themselves and would like to share their knowledge, their experiences to other doctors. It's a very important goal for us. As you know, there is no big achievement without the small achievement. So we are all trying the best to our country's healthcare. And objectives is, of course, it's very easy. It's easy to understand for all. Tied to the sustainable development goals, all doctors and members would like to achieve a very important successful things. Every KGA members would introduce of new idea in new technology. It doesn't matter even that is the small things for their own field and own everyday work. So it's a very big beneficial. We can distribute that's all knowledge to all other doctors. Through that, all doctors we can get the much more beneficial for our clients and our patients. And also it's delivered to medical institutions. That's why can we share through the country. So Winuye is the very simple. It's throughout in my country. It doesn't matter central hospital or rural hospital, even the healthcare unit, the smallest one. And well, the activities might be, the talk is very huge, but some things I would like to make some pointing. Well, this is the picture, if it's seem very, it's possible to clear, I think, because it took the 2011, it's the first maternal and fetal medicine, the conference in May of 2011. It was collaborated with the Rafael International Organization, which is also the partnership of COFEH. And also we have a big conferences about the obstetrician in gynecology. And also we did the training course about the maternal and fetal medicine. This is the first course and first 8 doctors who become the specialists of maternal and fetal medicine. And due to this improvement, we also have been attended in the World Congress. And also due to this training and due to the knowledge which is gained from Korea, we also did the special clinical training, skill training center. How about the pediatrician and genetics? And also in 2009, the people doesn't believe that day surgery. So now it's a possible things. Due to they have a good peripheral nerve blocks. So we introduced it and implemented their day surgery, something like this. And also we did the more research works on pain management, and also the 5 of copyrights already obtained. And also our KGA members, such as Dr. Baigal, we started to do the hemodialysis at our center. So it is the very big achievement in our country. Also, you know how is the hearing screening. 10 years ago, the people doesn't believe that we can screen the newborn to make a diagnosis, which is unclear. So we did the hearing screening of the newborn at the 2012, and now it seems like everyday work. Due to this work, we can start the treatment of the people who has a hearing disability, the BAHA, and also the cochlear implants. And also I would like to talk about the genetic laboratory. It's established in our center, and now it's almost 10 years. It was very big, the change for medical genetic care. Now almost 2,024 cases for amniocentesis, and also we have been diagnosed 350 the cases which diagnosed the genetic disorders such as the Down syndrome, Edwards syndrome. The biometric engineering care, it's a very important thing because it might be something, some people would think that the engineering is how is the demand for the medical. So we, as a human, have to stay away of the communicable disease. So that's the Sustainable Development Goals strategies. We have to be safe vaccination for the newborns and other people. So our bioengineer, Narambatra, he has been started in 2022, and before he has been started in here, he has a small research. How we diagnose the cold chain apparatus in Mongolia. Almost the 92%, it's a range of the temperature and can't interfere image. It's a preventable damage. So after the studying, when returning home, he started the training program to reduce those preventable damages. When he has been studying here, he is also looked at the training course of Coffee, and they have the 30% is the knowledge, 30% is the hand shift, and 30% is the looking for the how is the production is going on. But in Mongolia, we manage it. That's the structure to review, to make a training with good results. 30% is knowledge, 30% is handshake things, another 30% is to talk and to do together. So this is the picture. One is the training of our biomedical engineer, the Narambatra. Okay, next, the nursing. Might be, I didn't know whether some countries believe that the nurse is, who is the nurse? The 10 years ago, some people think that the nurse is just standing behind of the doctors, behind of the physicians, just helping for them. Just inject the medicine, just take care for them. But now it's getting more changeable things, because the nurse Tegi Tsering, she is the one of the pioneer who has research degree in our country, tied to the Coffee scholarship. Now it's getting more better than that the people thinking the nurse is the individual, the scientific field. So we can start research for the nursing, and also we can do the doctorate at the nursing field. So, after the studying, get the master degree, the nurse Tegi Tsering did the 12 large and medium and small group training at the hospital and at the level of national level, and also with the small group of other hospitals. Now, what we get the results? We get the results that I would like to say few words. Before Dr. Hirschke has been studied here, we don't have any person who is working on maternal and fetal medicine. So she did this at country and following other doctors. And also the pain medicine, especially the pain medicine in children, has been established after the starting by myself in Korea. And also the hemodialysis service is also re-established after the starting in Korea by the help of Dr. Baigal. And screening is also started, the doctor who has been started in Korea. And also one of the pioneers of Master of Nursing Science degree is also from the KGA of Korea. And also the cold chain equipment uptake is improved after the studying of our biomedical engineer Naram Bhatter. So those things is our result, but it's not just our work. It's it's a big work with your health, with Coffee Health, and the scholarship program of Dr. John Lee Wu. And the challenge, there's a lack of opportunities to alumni work all together. They share experiences to improve together. And might be tied to the COVID. It's a very bad situation. So some organizational shortcomings, and sometimes it's we very lack was the continuing to get the information from COVH. So the conclusion is that all KGA have made significant contributions to improve the development of Mongolian health system, and all the hospitals like the National Center of Maternal and Child Health, National Cancer Center, and the second hospital, and also National Center of the Communicable Disease, all of they have been helped us, and we did all together the previous results. And COVH graduates have writing projects to introduce new technologies, but all those projects not get successful to get some finding of the COVH. And even that, we didn't mention it. We will be continue our knowledge which gained in here. The main result of the reduction of the maternal child mortality year after year to achieving the Millennium Development Goals to achieve it, that's the Millennium Development Goals. So now we are trying to get more achievement to get the Sustainable Development Goals. The way forward might be, you think it's a much more general things, but we would like to make a big focus for improving maternal and child health care, because we say that if you have a good healthy child, you have good healthy mother. And also, we would like to enhance our ways to collaborate with the COVH, like other countries, to have a representative center in our country. Well, and thank you your attention, and I would like to say thank you for all people who has been help for us to improve our knowledge, to improve our health systems, and of course, thank you for coverage, and thank you for scholarship program of Dr. John Lee Wook. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aryum Tongkalok. The activities you presented will help improve many pillars of health system in Mongolia. Next, we have Vietnam. Representing Vietnam, we have Dr. Do Thi Ninh, a lecturer of Hai Phong University of Medicine and Pharmacy, LJW Fellow from Health Professional Education in 2022. Please welcome her to the stage.
Good afternoon, distinguished esteemed colleagues. It's my great honor being here today to present our KGA activity. I had a great opportunity to participate in health professional education program in Seoul National University 2022. It helped not only improve my competencies, offer the new opportunities, but also help our people and community through the KGA activity. So I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Kofi, Dr. Lee Jong-guk Program, professor in Seoul National University, for your persistent dedication to further a better global health. And back to my KGA activity, it was about chain of channels, strength and further skill for primary healthcare provider in Cat Hai Island in Vietnam. Cat Hai Island is a district island with around 35,000 residents, only one health center, 12 health community health stations, but only 170 healthcare providers. The healthcare workforce is extremely limited in terms of both qualitative and quantitative. So we conducted this activity with two objectives. The first is to develop the teaching and learning material to strengthen further skill for primary healthcare providers. And the second is train the trainers who will continue to teach other healthcare providers on the island. And the beneficiaries are healthcare workforce, patient, resident, communities, and healthcare system. The first key activities was developing a comprehensive teaching and learning material, including the video, book, procedure, checklist, and the content cover varieties of the procedure and emergency situation like basic life support, drowning, bleeding, fracture, or burning. And all the material was provided to healthcare provider 2 weeks before we conducted the training for review and learning to ensure the quality of the training. And the next activities was actual training. We focused on both theoretical knowledge and practical skill. The participant was learn the theoretical skill, theoretical knowledge beforehand on the practical skill with the mannequin and equipment until they feel confident. And based on the successful of the complete the training and immediately after the training we conducted the evaluation. The skills were evaluated using OSCE method with the scenarios-based assessment and checklist. And this ensures that the participant feel confident and ready to respond to the emergency situation in the real life. And upon the successful of the training and evaluation, the participant was awarded the certification, and this certification was not only recognize the strength and the skill and knowledge of the participant, but also encourage further learning and commit to provide quality of healthcare for service for the community. And along with the intervention, we conducted the resource activity using a mixed method study, including both qualitative and quantitative components. In the quantitative, the knowledge score was evaluated at 3 time points: pre-test, immediately after the training, the post-test, and 3-month follow-up. And the results show that the knowledge score of the participant improved significantly from the pre-test to post-test and remained high after 3-month follow-up. And we also observed the significant improvement in all the sub-dimensions of the training skill. And in the qualitative component, we conducted the group interview to gain insight into the perception and experience of the participant regarding the implementation of first aid skill on the remote areas on the island. And the result of the study was published in the BMC Medical Education Journal. Regarding the challenges, the participants report several challenges for implementation of first aid on the island. For example, the geographic location, transportation infrastructure, or the deficiency and maldistribution of resources, and the severe human resources shortages, and inadequate skill and knowledge. And for our team, the most challenges to implement the KGA activity was the overwhelming of healthcare needs on the remote island. So at that time, restricted of the time, so we decided that first aid skills were effective and efficiency. And this also like the case study for us to do at the first time to continue to create a new program. And thus, last December, we conducted another program. It's about the event-based practice training for the nurse manager in the Vietnam. And we are going to continue expand that program to other provinces in Vietnam. Yeah. And to conclusion, the intervention highlight the importance of the regular first aid training, particularly in remote areas, and emphasize the specific first aid procedure that tailor to coastal areas, interdisciplinary collaborative training to enhance the effectiveness of emergency responses, and the need to address the challenges related to deficiencies, maldistribution of resources, recruiting, retaining the primary healthcare workforce to achieve universal health coverage. And the study also provides insight for policymakers, health educators, healthcare providers to enhance the quality, accessibility for primary healthcare service in Vietnam and also in other low and middle income countries. And the way forward, we would like to extend the training program to other coastal districts so other healthcare providers can benefit from these essential skills and implement the regular training program to ensure that the skills are updated and relevant. And particularly, we will continue to work on the strategies to meet the growing demand of primary healthcare demand. So according to WHO and UNICEF, now we need to have a broader and holistic primary health care approach that emphasize on integrate healthcare service focused on primary health care and public health, essential public health functions, empower the people and community and multi-sector policy and action. And moreover, it needs to involvement various primary healthcare levels that are divided into strategic level and operational levels. The strategic levels, for example, like political leadership, government, governance, funding allocation, the engagement of community and stakeholders. And about the operational level, for example, like a model of care, infrastructure, the healthcare workforce, monitoring or evaluation. The all action are need to do at the same time so we can improve the access, the utilization quality, improve the participation, health literacy, care seeking, and improve overall the determinants of health. And the all action at the same time we can achieve the health for all, the sustainable development goal, and the universal health coverage for all people. And in Vietnam, even though recent years we have a better healthcare system, but we still encounter with variety of challenges, especially related to healthcare workforce in primary healthcare with low healthcare workforce is limited the clinical competency and also the number and also the infrastructure, the funding for the primary healthcare workforce is still limited. And the government still like most focus on the special care because the special care we can see directly the result. For the primary care, we need time to see the result. Also, that related to the economic situation of the country and other problems. But we hope that in the near future, we still continue to get the support from WHO, COFI, Lee Jong-wook program, and other stakeholders support for us to achieve universal health coverage in the near future. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Ning, for sharing such a well-designed program. And I'm aware that you are planning on expanding this to national level. And I think this is truly an inspiring case of transferring training outcome to national policy. Next, we have Sri Lanka. Representing Sri Lanka, we have Dr. Kaminda, an emergency physician who was trained by Professor Lee Kang-hyun, our father of emergency medical services. Please welcome him to the stage.
Ayubowan, and good afternoon, distinguished guests from the Ministry of Health of Republic of South Korea, and the representative from the COFI, and all professors, and all my colleagues, and ladies and gentlemen. So here I am, I'm Kaminda Vijayanayake from Sri Lanka, it's the pearl of the Indian Ocean, right. So I would say I trained exactly 10 years back in 2015, and I must say it's the role model for the emergency medicine. He inspired me a lot to become an emergency consultant in my country. So in 2015 in Yonsei University, Wonji College of Medicine in the emergency department in 2015. So here I am. So there's nothing in my slides basically, but I hope I can talk for like 20 minutes in front of you. Right, the overviews and objectives or the goals are very simple in that time. So we hope to establish emergency medicine specialty in Sri Lanka, as well as in that time, we didn't have the emergency transport system in our country. So our plan or the aim was to establish both in our country. And the beneficiary going to be the citizens of Sri Lanka, of course, and healthcare system in Sri Lanka, as well as all visitors. As we all are aware, the Sri Lanka is one of the famous travel destination among the travelers. So we have done this so far. These are the things that we have done. There's a lot of photos. So we train under coffee. We train a lot of medical officers and of course nurses and medical administrators, as well as technicians and paramedics. Altogether 61 from 2008, I must say. And then, this is how we learned. We learned through the web conference, we learned through the EM conference, and this is how that I represent the emergency conference in 2015 in Seoul. And this is my research trip on that time. And then we learn about the ultrasound, and we talk about the echoes, and we talk about the animal experiments and everything. And we didn't stop by that. And we actually extend this program in Sri Lanka also. And this is how we conduct a joint activity, combined seminar in base hospital Isaville, which was my hospital in that particular time. And we did a joint seminar along with the Professor Kanhan Lee regarding the emergency medical system. And these are the results. Results are more important. So I must say that the Korean government and the coffee, I like the way that they conduct this kind of program. They are not going to stop by establishing the things. They are monitoring the things, and they extend their support. Is there any defects of that particular program? And this is what we achieve in our country so far. So space-wise, at the beginning, Avisala Base Hospital, it was a base hospital, which is the third level in the emergency care in Sri Lanka. And now it's upgraded up to the District General Hospital, which is the second level of the emergency care in Sri Lanka. And then, of course, now it is under emergency physicians. In that particular time, we didn't have the emergency physicians in Sri Lanka. Right. And the staff. And as we got inspiration from South Korea, so as an emergency physician, as a college of emergency physicians, we train our all primary care doctors, which we think is the utmost important things in our health system. Because in our countries, we didn't have that CME program, that continuous monitoring system in our country up to last year. So once you passed out from the medical college, there used to be a doctor until he finished his career. Once you passed out from the nursing college, used to be a doctor. It doesn't matter whether he improve his knowledge or update his knowledge up to the current standard or the guidelines. But as a college of the emergency physicians, now, and we trained all our staff again and again regarding the primary care system. And we have updated them with the guidelines and the web-based system, and yearly, and we are providing CME point, and to improve their salaries and everything, now they have to provide their CME points within 2 years, every 2 years. Right. And this staff is a difficult part, as you all aware that we face a huge economical crisis in last few years. Now we are basically in a situation where we are coming out of that situation at the moment. But so we are going to equip all the primary care hospitals, which is the basic level, to provide at least stabilize the initial major presentation to the primary care level, rather than transferring that patients to the major hospitals, as Professor Kwan correctly mentioned. Rather than build a lot of buildings in the tertiary care centers, we are going to strengthening the primary care hospitals with the knowledge and then staff to stabilize the critical ill patients in that particular hospital rather than transferring them to the major hospitals. And then the system, as I mentioned, we didn't have an emergency transport system in 2015 in our country. Now we do have an emergency transport system which is well established, and it is free of charge for entire community. And it is called Suvasaria in my language. In 2016, we managed to establish, but still we don't have HEMS, as I mentioned. We don't have a helicopter transport system in our country. And of course, we managed to establish the emergency medicine specialty in our country. And now we do have the emergency consultant. And I must thank Professor Kanhan Lee. He is the person who inspired me to do emergency medicine as my postgraduate training. And here I am as an emergency consultant today in front of you. I completed my training by 2023, and after doing some training in Australia for 2 years also. Right, and these are the challenges we faced. And we do have the financial barriers to facilitate all healthcare institutions and all emergency equipment to facilitate with all emergency equipments and the medical medications, as well as and we have to digitalize our system, as Professor mentioned previously. So we are using the paper-based system still in our country in the most of the centers, I think almost all centers in Sri Lanka. We believe it is a waste of money, because we write in the papers and we used to keep those papers for years and ages, and patients, during the follow-up, it is very difficult to find out what's happening, what was happening during the last presentation. It is very difficult to find them out. Now, with the support of the AGB, we are going to implement, including my hospital, we are going to digitalize most of the hospital in our country into the computer-based system, which we can easily follow up the patients in the future. And we do have the financial and technical barriers to change the medical documentation from the paper-based into the computer-based. And I agree with the professor, as he mentioned previously, digital literacy is the major problem among the healthcare professionals in our country also, because we used to use a lot of paper-based system, and we are not very digitalized as in South Korea. And I think we are in like 10 years back in using the computers and the technology in the health system. But we can improve, together we can improve a lot in this system, once we digitalize our system. Ultimately, we have capacity to improve ourselves. That is the most important thing, I think. And the brain drain is the major problem to our country. So for example, so far we have produced 76 emergency physicians so far in my country, who are fully qualified and complete their full training, but unfortunately 50 of them are left from the country to the UK or Australia for the time being. That is the bitter truth behind our system. But still, we are working together to come out from these challenges and way forward. And our ambulance system is still like scoop and run. So once you encounter with the emergency, you just call the ambulance and they will arrive, and they just take the patient to the nearest hospital. And we improve it a little bit, and there's the calling center now. With the emergency training, doctor is there. They can call that particular doctor, and they can bypass some hospital. For example, if it is a stroke, they are going to bypass the regional hospital, and they are going to send that patient to the stroke center, or the hospital that we can thrombolize the patient, stroke patient. And likewise, we are improving the system, but our aim is to stay and play rather than scoop and run, right? And then in that say, as an emergency college, we are training them to the level that they can treat then and there. As we experienced during my training, even the Professor Kantanli used to go with the ambulance to the site, and I still can remember he intubated on the site one patient during my training. And it was like a dream for us on that particular time. But now, actually, we think that we also can come up to that level in our country. Then we will do that. And then, of course, the streamline of the emergency care service in Sri Lanka to maintain the uniformity. As we previously discussed, in the universal healthcare system, universal healthcare coverage, we do have the 4 pillars, which is acute care, the chronic care, the preventive care, and the palliative care. In all 4 cares, we have a very good preventive system in our country. Because of that, we are in 37th place of WHO healthcare ranking, which is very good ranking compared to all other countries in the region. And then, but that is because of the preventive sector rather than the acute care system. Because as I mentioned previously, after passing out from the colleges, medical colleges or the nursing colleges, so we didn't have the updated system, we didn't have the system to update the knowledge of the healthcare professionals. And in future, we are going to streamline the emergency care system in the case of acute care to provide the equal care to each and every patient to represent to the particular hospital. It doesn't matter whether it's a primary hospital, tertiary hospital, or secondary hospital, whatever. When we are managing the major presentation, for example, major trauma, represent to the primary hospital, we are going to stabilize them and then transfer. If it is a ST elevation, myocardial infarction, we are going to thrombolize the patient in the peripheral hospital and then transfer. If it is a patient in shock, we are going to take that patient out from the shock and then transfer for the definitive care. So to that, we are using the emergency life support course, as I mentioned, designed by the College of Emergency Physicians, and update their knowledge, as well as we are providing the guidelines to their handheld device or the computer, whatever they used to use, or the paper-based system, and with the updated guidelines. And then we are going to digitalize our system to maintain the patient's data system, as well as referring system. I think we discussed this one beforehand. And I would like to conclude this talk with few simple points. Even though the coffee, maybe the Korean government not aware, your system, the inspired in our healthcare system in Sri Lanka, is beyond your thoughts, right? That's why we are here today. As well as, we hope through the KGA, we can have the continuous development in our systems, as well as we are going to inspire the staff to get maximum benefits through the organizing this kind of training, as well as finally, I would like to convey my heartiest gratitude to the coffee, as well as the Korean government, from our college, Sri Lanka College of Emergency Physicians, as well as Democratic Social Republic of Sri Lanka, for this kind contribution to our healthcare system. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kaminda, for sharing your story. Now, Kofi has a country office in Sri Lanka, you know. So hoping to strengthen the bilateral relationship further. Next, we have Uzbekistan. Representing Uzbekistan, we have Dr. Murad, head of international cooperation at Tashkent Medical Academy, will share his story of collaborating with experts from Korea. Please welcome him to the stage.
안녕하십니까. 만나서 반갑습니다. 저는 우즈베키스탄에서 이사 무라드 박사님입니다. 2000부터 2002까지 연세대학교 공부했어요. 오늘 여러분과 함께 하게 되어 매우 기쁩니다. 죄송합니다. 20년 후에 지금 한국말 조금 알아요. Dear ladies and gentlemen, sorry I now speak little Korean, which I little forget, but I remember something. Dear guests and colleagues, first, great thanks to KOFIC organization to invite our Uzbekistan team to join this KGA General Assembly. After graduating plastic surgery residential program in Yonsei University, I spent all my time and all my life to pediatric plastic surgery to treat children with congenital anomaly and patient with bone and improving his life. So I would like to introduce a little previously history about this project. This project was done 20 years ago from Professor Park Byung-yoon, my teacher from the Yonsei University. He every year comes to Uzbekistan with humanitarian mission and do free surgery to patients from poor family and orphan house. After COVID time, we lost financial support for his project, and we think this project already died. I asked many organizations, and they unfortunately cannot find support. Only Kofi can support and give to this project second life. And the Korea Foundation for International Healthcare plays a vital role in the global medical support. Especially, Kofi Uzbekistan stands out as trustworthy organization that promote and sponsors healthcare projects in the region. As head of Department International Cooperation of the Tashkent Medical Academy and a pediatric plastic surgeon, I deeply value the effort of the Kofi Uzbekistan. I am pleased to have participated in several projects with this foundation, including an important one we completed just half years ago. Without Kofi support, we cannot do this kind of best project. I would like to share our results of our project dedicated to child health care. Objective of this mission, to conduct free medical consultation to 200 patients and surgical procedure to 30 patients, involve experts from Korea. To bring together the knowledge, experience, and innovation ideas of specialists, research, and the practitioners in the field of medical consultation and surgical procedure among patients with a facial and neck deformity in single platform. To improve surgical skills of local doctors of Uzbekistan by getting new information during work with the Korean plastic surgeons, maxillofacial surgeons, and ENT doctors. To foster collaboration, promote interdisciplinary approach, and explore cutting-edge techniques and technologies that can enhance the diagnosis and treatment for these complex conditions by bringing together professionals from the various disciplines. To improve patient outcomes, advance the field of congenital anomaly treatment, and contribute to the overall advancement of medical science. The rationale of this project, background, congenital anomalies of the head and neck, they're relatively common, affecting approximately 1 in every 800 neobirths in worldwide. In Uzbekistan, it is more patient. Significance of the problem. The treatment of the recurrence multidisciplinary approach since can affect to the scale, face, jaws, ears, and neck, leading to functional impairment, aesthetic consent, and psychological challenges for patients and their families. National strategy. Many countries' national strategies often involve collaboration between healthcare providers, researchers, policy makers, and the patient advocate groups to develop comprehensive care pathway guidelines and resources for management of this complex condition. Situation analysis. There are still gaps in the understanding and management of this anomaly. Access to specialist care, disparities in healthcare service, and limited resources in the certain region can impact the delivery of the optional treatment for affected individuals. And now its population also in Uzbekistan, more than 38 million, and so it is a very necessary project to Uzbekistan. Korean medical hero Lee Jong-wook spoke, experience more, see more, and do more. So we made more experience, and we see more in the world, and now we do more with COVID. I have more than 7 years experience with COVID, and I hope do more next long time, maybe lifetime. For open ceremony, we are inviting more young doctors and residents from the pediatric hospital, people from the Ministry of Health and Tashkent Medical Academy, students and parents. All ceremony was widely played in TV and newspaper. The project was successfully carried out in the collaboration with the COVID and Tashkent Medical Academy. Its goal was to address head and neck defects within the population of Uzbekistan, particularly focusing on children, by providing plastic surgery treatments. Additionally, the initiative aimed to educate local medical students and young doctors about this procedure through the seminar. The project has been a significant impact in this area of medicine and has generated numerous positive responses. Everybody who is working COFIC knows the spirit. From the Lee Jong-wook, he said, we must do the right thing in the right place, in the right way. So what this means? We think we must be helped to many patients who need our help. This is our thing, it is right. Second, whereas we can do it, we cannot do this in school, we cannot do this in market or kindergarten. We can do this only in hospital, clinic, medical center, right place. And finally, we must do it with professionals, doctors, and surgeons. It's the right way. Our schedule was followed. First day, we are screening more than 45 patients and select some surgery. From 2nd till 4 days was done main surgery, and more than 100 patients was screened. For surgery, we priority to give the patient from the poor family, orphan house, and who living very far from the capital. Because many people who is living very far from the capital cannot often come to Tashkent and do some surgery. And also they don't have enough finance. Finally, many patients who get surgery from the Korean professor was very happy. Many young doctors get new surgical skills and new surgical technology from Korean professors. Korean doctors recommend to us continue this program as soon as possible, because till today we have many patients which need the kind of surgical treatment. Some parents of the patient kindly requested don't stopping this project. This is some hello from our children. Our statistics result, you can see here, we have many students, residents, and young doctors who is very interesting surgical skills of Korean doctors. Totally, we had 80 participants from the young doctors, and more than 200 patients was screening. And during 4 days, we do 39 surgery. Main patient was with the cleft lip, palate, cleft nose, microtia. Some patient was after bone of face. And after surgery, you can see some very happy face of children. Some children, they have bone of the mouth. He cannot open. And after surgery, mother was very happy. She cried and said, thanks, thanks, thanks. During the mission, we find follow. For complex and hard case, we are needing more time and additional equipment, like high-quality microscope and microsurgery instrument. For example, hemifacial microsomia, they need more hard instrument and a special microscope. More patients with bone who need stage surgery. And we find this time many patients from the Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. Some surgery need another both specialty like ophthalmology and neurosurgeon. What we want? Continue this project, if possibly 2 times in a year. Do more complex and hard case to surgery, which will also education course to local young doctors. Organizing future mission to other Central Asian country with the Korean doctor to Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. We have also representative from the Kyrgyzstan and the Tajikistan university. They request us, please organizing this kind of mission to our country. To share with local doctors innovation methods from the Korean doctors. Future, they will do more surgery to patients with congenital anomaly from head and neck and also in hand. The project was successfully complete. It gave treatment to patients, joy to their relative, experience to young doctors, and great benefits to the development of this field, medicine. We are planning to invite more surgeons from other famous medical centers in Korea, like Asan, Samsung Medical Center, Korea, and Seoul universities. After this kind of project, reconstructive plastic surgery will be more development in our country. Using the present tense, I would like ask President Il-Ho to assist in continuing this project in according with the spirit of the Lee Jong-wook. And I would like to present one book to head office of COFIC, which was printed from the Korean professors of Yonsei University and dedicate to our last year mission. Thank you for your attention. Gyuiha Hue Kwansime Kamsadrimnida. And I would like to share some small video from our last mission.
Yana bir narsani ta'kidlab o'tishimiz kerakki, mana shu qilayotgan ishlarimizdan hammasini muhtaram prezident aytganlaridek xalqni rozi qilish kerak. Va biz qilayotgan ishimiz hozir xalqga xizmat qilib, xalqni rozi qilishga qaratilgan. Va umidimiz shundanki, sizlar bizning qilayotgan ishimizdan judayam rozi bo'lasizlar.
My daughter is going to be healthy, and I'm so excited, and thank you for the Kopi Global Alumni and also the Chinor Medical Center.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Murad. He has some photo book to give us. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Murad, for sharing this inspiring story. Next we have, last but not the least, Cambodia. Representing Cambodia, Ms. Tavi Chang, a fellow from 2023 Infectious Disease Specialist Program, will share her story of achieving infectious prevention and disease control in her community. Please welcome her with a big round of applause.
Yes, so first of all, I would like to pay my high respect to President of the COFI and Vice Minister of the Planning and Coordination, Ministry of Health and Welfare, South Korea. So, my name is Tavi Chang. I am a Chief of Infection Prevention and Disease Control Unit in Banti Mian Chai Provincial Health Department, Cambodia. I think that you mostly know about Cambodia. And if you have occasionally time, you will visit Cambodia and we will enjoy together. So, I am a fellow of the Dr. Lee Jong-wook program in terms of infectious specialist based on epidemiology in 2023 at Yonsei University College of the Medicine. So I would like to take this opportunity to make a briefly short presentation about achievement in infection prevention and at disease control unit. So my presentation would like to following by below. The first one is the goal. Here are the best important point of important goal in my topic. The first one is the accelerate reduction of the burden of the communicable disease, enhance health security and health system resilience, increase effectiveness and efficiency of the public health system, strengthening capacity of the public health workforce. And for the beneficiary is for the health facility by including of the referral hospital, health centers, and health posts, and especially for the community. And the location is in Banteay Mean Chey province, Cambodia. So here are my activity. So after completed 3 months of infectious disease specialist, so I become the KGA alumni. And during that time, I also start a mission to provision of the medical support to remote flooding villager. And the mostly important, according to my action plan, was implemented by supporting by COFI. And after I complete the Dr. Lee Jung-Wook program in 2023, I also have the practical activity work in my province. And you know, in my province is located close border with Thailand. So that's why we confess with another infectious disease and public health event. So the first activity, I would like to tell you about how responding to the pufferfish poisoning that happened in the 2023. In the Phnom Strock district, it is the district that located in my province. And this report also get from the referral hospital. And during that, we got that action. So all the rapid response team took very quick responsibility and especially contact with the relevant case. And another point, we really investigated and collect sample. As actually for the pufferfish, we recognize that it is the poisoning fish. So we didn't get the sample of the fish to send to the laboratory. So we identified that this is the poisoning fish. And finally, we got one case dead. And after we received that, we do health promotion to the people that live in the village to know about that, how to recognize and avoiding from eating pufferfish. Another activity is respond to the suspected of the mpox case. And before we call monkeypox, but now the WHO has recognized the name is mpox. So it happened in 2024. This is also happened in the provincial prison. As you know, it is the place that a lot of people to live. It's mean that the criminal person. So that's why if one case contact, it might be affected to another person that live there. So we received the report from the rapid response team also. And for the rapid response team, it's very quick response to the relevant case. The total, we received the 6 cases of suspect of mpox. But actually, when we investigated and collect samples sent to the national laboratory, all the 6 cases is also declined as the mpox case. So it's just the chickenpox. It is not mpox. But the sign and symptom is really similar to mpox. And after that, we do health promotion, provide medical treatment by checking up and provide the medication to them. So here are the picture of what we are doing and what we do the contact tracing to the case in the provincial prison. Another activity is respond on the cluster influenza that we are suspect to COVID-19. Even though that COVID-19, as the WHO announced that it is the integrated disease, but when we have the cluster, we need to take action. So this case also happened in 2024 too, at the city of the Ban Thi Minh Chay province, and the report that we received is also from health center. Yeah, so health center is very close with the community, and when the community have any problem or relevant disease, so they contact to the rapid response team. And although that's time, we do contact tracing. If we found one case, we need to find another. If we suspect that there is COVID-19, so it will be explored to another, especially about their family. So the total case, we detect 20 cases and positive age. We start to investigate and collect sample and send to the national laboratory. During the COVID-19 case that we are suspecting, the first step, we need to do contact tracing, and then we do the rapid test. So now the rapid test, even though that the rapid test is positive, but you need to find out what type of the variant that they are consist. If we don't identify about the variant, it might be affects to another people or another community. After that, for the contacting case, we do home care treatment and do quarantine. And we start to do health promotion and disinfection to contact area. So we start to do, after we finish our investigation, we start to disinfect the area that contact of the COVID-19. For the result, so after I got the scholarship from the Dr. Lee Jong-wook program, yes, for what the result that I got, as we also encouraged and supported from the director of the provincial health department for the response of another infectious disease or public health event is on time. Strong collaboration of the rapid response team, surveillance system work well, and the strongly collaboration between national and sub-national level. For the challenge, so in my province, it's not just only in my province, but all the province in Cambodia. It's not yet have the infectious building. So when we have the infectious disease case, we need to keep in the isolation room, but we didn't have the infectious building. And for the capacity building of the rapid response team have still limited. Especially, I just raised up for the real example for the top exercise. So everyone not yet well prepared, is not yet know about how to do top exercise, to explore, to engage with the community. And for another one is information, education, and communication material is still have limited. So now most of the people, it's not just in Cambodia, but around the world, use the social media. So now we instead of the IEC to EIEC, it means that electronic information, education, and communication, and we start to post it in the page of the provincial health department, referral hospital, to show to the community that when we have the technique and prevention of the another disease. Inadequate healthcare facility may lack of the equipment, sterile supply, and the trained staff. Actually, in my province, most of the health center is still have the limited of the medical equipment. We have, but all the equipment is going to break down and old because of it just more than 10 years or more than 15 years. So it maybe equipment is not yet get enough during provide the service to the people. And insufficient public health measure, insufficient information, the public may may not have access to important information about the outbreaks. For conclusion, for all the achievements that achieved above, Banteay Meanchey Provincial Health Department had the progress of investigation, prevention, and response by following. The first one, we have the incident management structure with the responsible person. Rapid response team from provincial to health center. So from health center to the provincial level, we have the focal person that based on the rapid response team. Even though that have any something happened in the community, yes, they reported directly to the provincial level. We have the emergency operation center. This is very important. And in my province, we already installation of the EOC room, most of the district in the province. So when they have any public health event or another problem happen, yes, they can activate it and use it by themselves. For the surveillance system, is working well, and focal person working with responsibility. For the next step that we should do, so because of the Dr. Lee Jung-wook program that let me get more knowledge and get more experience, it's not just only a country, it's not just only two countries, but the country in Asia maybe change experience together. And I also encourage other health facility staff to get more attention on the Dr. Lee Jung-wook program, strengthening capacity building of the ORT, still observation on surveillance system, it according to indicator-based surveillance and event-based surveillance to make it sustainable. And the social community engagement on infectious disease by doing health promotion, top table exercise, and etc. And I would like to take this opportunity. I really thank you so much to the COFI that always support and stay behind us, even though that we have any problem. Yes, the COFI country office in Cambodia still find the way to solve any problem because we have the same goal together. My goal is just I want to see my people living with healthy life and have a big smile. So the COFI also have the perspective as me, so we can work any relevant community problem. Yes, work well together. Yeah, thank you so much for your paying attention.
Thank you, Ms. Tavi. I remember her actively leading class of 2023 as a deputy representative of the class, right? And thank all other wonderful KGA members for sharing your stories. Please give a big round of applause to everybody. We will take about 5 minutes to arrange the stage, and then we will proceed with a Q&A session. Since everybody is tired and hungry, we will make the Q&A session very briefly.
All right, thank you for your patience. I believe now it's time for the very highlight or the climax of today's event, where we get to observe and listen to fruitful discussions between all the speakers of today's program. And without further ado, please allow me to invite all the speakers and presenters to the stage for a Q&A session. And Professor Sunman Kwon is going to moderate the Q&A session. First of all, Dr. Faraz Khalid, Mrs. Dasava Bonmani, Dr. Aritokalak Myakma, Dr. Ro Tinin, Dr. Kaminda Wijenaika, Dr. Murad Jafaro, Ms. Tabi Cheng, please come up to the stage. And we originally had planned to have the discussion by 5:20, but since things are running late, we would like to give more time to 5:30, and then 5:30 sharp, we're going to close today's event. Let's give a big round of applause. All right, and Professor Kwan, please take the floor.
Okay, thank you. Well, we have a very limited time, and we'll have 29 minutes. So I will ask, I hope first, I hope that all these representatives from each country will become a Minister of Health in some day, right? So, okay, big applause. And suppose, so it's a kind of exercise, suppose each of you are a Minister of Health in your country. Then, what would be the policy that you would really want to introduce in the area that you have been working on broadly? So, okay, for example, in the case of Laos, NCD management. You talked about screening, but NCD management is a bit broader than just screening. So, NCD management, Mongolia, maternal and child health area, Vietnam, primary health care, okay, and Sri Lanka. Sorry, but I was very shocked that 2/3 of the emergency consultant, they went to other countries. So my question on you is the brain drain issues. Tashkent, not just your very specialized children surgery, but essential surgeries in the secondary level hospitals in your country. Cambodia, pandemic. Okay, so I gave you already 1, 2, 3, 6 each topic. So please think about, now you're a minister, and what would be the policy you would introduce, just quote one policy that you want to introduce. Each one have 2 minutes. And then while you're thinking, I'll ask the question to Faraz. Because we listened to 6 presentations. They are all different areas. Okay? Emergency medicine, surgery, infectious disease control, MCH. But one of the very important themes of this meeting is primary health care. So as an expert of primary health care, can you give us your wisdom, your thoughts for cross-cutting all of these issues from a PhD framework or lens? Okay? And that's my primary question to you. If you have time, the second question is, you briefly introduced this PhD leadership course. We know there are actually many courses, like flagship courses, many courses around the world. And please give us very short, kind of clear rationale, what you think is the major unique points that your course, your suggested course, is distinguished, differentiated from other courses in the world. That's the 2 questions to you. Let's start with Faraz. You have 3 minutes.
All right, sure, great. Maybe I'll use the first 30 seconds to do a quiz with the audience. So we should not be only the responders, right? We should go to the audience. So can anyone of you tell and try to, I talked about 3 components, 3 interrelated components of the primary healthcare approach, because that will make the life easier for us for both bringing these interventions together and the course. So I talked about it, and then in the video I showed, they also talked about 3 components, interrelated components of primary healthcare approach. Does anyone of you want to give it a try? What are the 3 main components of the primary healthcare approach? There was a ball which had shown 3 components. Can anyone you make a guess? All right, please give it a try. Go on. Make a guess. Don't be shy. Yeah, someone smart is looking at the summary I have put there. Because that right at the start, it has these 3 components listed. All right, let me tell you. The 3 interrelated components of primary healthcare approach are, first aid, integrated health services. including primary care and essential public health functions. That's the first point. And that will make the job easier, how I link all of these points. Second is community engagement and empowerment. And third is multi-sectoral action and policies. I think if we, and one, it's not a cliche, but it is something, this statement has come through decades of health systems work, which health systems community has developed, that UHC and health security are our goals, the ends which Sunman was talking about. Means is health system strengthening. And the approach to strengthen the health systems is PHC. I'll repeat. UHC and health security are the goals. Health system strengthening is the means, and PHC is an approach to strengthen the system. I've already taken my 1 minute. Now, my second minute I want to spend here is that, let's say, well, Sunman doesn't want to appoint me as a health minister, he wants to appoint all of them. But if I get a chance to get appointed as a health minister, I will try to...
You're DG of, Secretary General of WHO.
All right, okay, okay. So then if I wear a WHO hat and if I go to these countries and meet all these experts, I'll try to convince them that why don't we take a PHC approach, where each of these services we are talking about, may it be infection prevention, cancer screening, congenital anomalies, cancer screening, if we look at them from an umbrella of integrated health services, we keep a person or people in the mind, not we chase for diseases or specific interventions. Because you will see each of the experts, not here, but in general, each of these specialities only talking about their own specialty. And if you become a minister of health, your agenda is big. You look at population outcomes. You look at your broader disease burden, and you want best to get out of the minimal resources you have. And the approach is when you take a person-centered approach to deliver integrated health services, you don't look for only diseases. We take care of health of the people, we just don't treat diseases or cure diseases. So that's my first document, integrated health services. But we should not forget about community engagement and empowerment, and health sector alone, as Sunman said, does not address more than 20 to 25% of the people's health problems. A lot exists in social, commercial, and political dominance of health. So multi-sectoral action and policy. So this is something I will try to request you to keep these three components in mind as you become ministers of health, as you become health practitioners and policymakers. Sunman's second question to me, what differentiates this course, which I was talking about, from many other equally good flagship courses, is that it tries to bring in an integrated health services approach, which is as relevant for TB, malaria, NCD, long-term care. You pick up from all the way from continuum of care, from prevention all the way till palliative. So it talks about integrated health services first, then community engagement and multi-sectoral. But it also helps that PHC is an approach, but then it talks about health system strengthening, where we talk about how PHC approach could be an enabler for health workforce retention, for better health financing arrangements, for governance arrangements, digital health and technologies. So it brings in these different operational levers, control knobs, or health system building blocks. So it's not only a typical health financing course, a governance course, a health workforce course. It uses PHC approach and health systems perspective and helps people to understand the system, not one building block. So that's the differentiating feature. And last point which came up in our evaluation of the course is that participants thoroughly enjoyed this being a really global course, learning from each other, not only the good practices, but the challenges they are equally facing. So I hand over back to Sunman.
Excellent. I'm sure you will be the DG of WHO, or at least regional director of MRO. Okay. Okay, thank you. Next, can you move to invite the representatives from Laos? Each one of you have 2 minutes, right? Please go ahead.
Okay, let's move on to the NCD policy, right?
Yep.
Okay, so for this point, it means like continue with the Dr. Khalid. Okay, by the 6 building block, it means we couldn't have is sustainable for the maintain. But the key point for the NCD is like the first thing is continue for the advertisement for the health promotion. It is because we face, I think not only Laos, but around the world, is the health promotion is difficulty to, especially in the remote area, is to concern or awareness from the people, our people. And the NCD is the big approach for our global health. So it's by the PDCA system also support the health promotion or the advertisement for the NCD policy. That's, or maybe once again with the six building blocks is very helpful for us. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. I fully agree, but it seems to me that these days in many low and middle income countries, in the NCD policy, one issue is access to medicines, because without access to medicines, treatment of NCD is a big challenge. Another kind of new issue, emerging issue, is in the area of cervical cancer. There's a role of HPV vaccinations. That is another kind of issue. You know, screening is important, but if we can have a very early intervention with the vaccination, what is the impact of that? Okay, that is we can further consider in the near future. Okay, next, can I invite the representatives from Mongolia to comment on the MCH issues in Mongolia?
Thank you, but I never dreamed to be as a
Minister of
yes, Minister of Health Mongolia. Whatever I just thinking about, now it's all the world is changing. Today we use the AI technology, and also we use the social media and social information. And I think that many of physicians, you can agree with me, there's many patients coming to the hospital with the degree of the Facebook medical doctor. So that's why we can use social technology to use to share our knowledge, to guide them to better things. So I think if I would be a president of Minister of the Health, I want to be start from the screening of maternal screening. It will be based on AI technology, and we want to be make some information through the social work, and also as I mentioned in my presentation, if we have a good the healthy mother, we can get the healthy children. So it's gonna be, our people wanna be healthy. So I will be start like this work just a few minutes ago, I think.
Thank you. Probably what you mentioned is makes much more sense in the context of Mongolia, because Mongolia is a very unique country, huge,
yes.
Big geography, and so
yes.
access is a huge issue. Thanks a lot.
Yes.
Our representatives from Vietnam.
Thank you for your question. As you see in my last slide in my presentation, I got the model from one of the issue from WHO that Dr. Faraz Khalid may know about it. In order to achieve universal coverage, we need varieties of activity and strategies. So it is difficult, actually, for a developing country. It's very difficult to do a lot of the activity like this as the model at the same time. So right now in my country, the government decided 3 key components to strengthen the primary health care. The first one is to build and to maintain a high, strong, strong political determinant. The second is the ability to design and implementation of a comprehensive reform strategy program. And the third one is the ability to mobilize and use equity, the financial resources. So if I have the chance like a prime minister, so I would like to rebalance the financial resource for primary healthcare, because I think financial is very, very important to do other things. Right now in Vietnam, more than 50% the healthcare spending come from our pocket of the people, and it come from the private sector, like the people spend. So it is very difficult for people to get the equity of healthcare access. For example, if the people have the chronic disease, if our pocket spending increase, accumulate day by day, so it's become the burden for them. So if we have the good financial resource to support for primary healthcare, because right now we also invest more for special care at the higher level with less portion for primary healthcare. So I would like to invest much more than right now number for primary healthcare, so we can build the infrastructure, we can invest to develop the human resource, strengthen and improve the competency of human resources. And right now, this year, we can see the development of telehealth or AI, something like this. So we can develop the infrastructure for primary healthcare, so we can benefit from that. For example, right now, since after the COVID-19 pandemic, the government have a good strategy activity that I think is very effective to improve the competency of the primary healthcare. Like this, every week, the tertiary hospital, the tertiary hospital in the central level, they conducted the real clinical case analysis, like a remote examination. It includes the various specialists from tertiary hospital join that remote meeting with the different district hospital, and they involved in that, and then they use the real case, they analyze it, and different facilities participate at the same time. So during that time, they can support to examine and treatment for the patient, and also the primary healthcare facility and doctor can learn from through that. And that is the one very small activity I think right now is effective. Thank you so much.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you. Yep. So government need to invest in Vietnam. It's called community health system. So community health system strengthening is a very primary level, community level. Plus also, as we mentioned, finance is very important. So Vietnam social security, health insurance should expand the benefit packages for primary healthcare. Okay, let's move to the Sri Lankan case, please. Sorry, I mean, it give you a tough question, but how to solve, if you're a minister, how to solve the brain drain issues?
Right. Thank you very much for a very interesting question. And probably a travel ban to all emergency consultants. No, actually, I put it in this way. Right, in 2019, the WHO mentioned that emergency healthcare, the receiving of emergency healthcare is a basic human right to all citizens in the world. So if I keep it simple, that is my goal. And to prevent the brain drain, actually that is because most of the time the political instability as well as the financial instability of the country during last few years. Now actually we are in a stable situation, I must say. And currently, our minister also a doctor. That's a good point. And hopefully, I also can be then. Right. So my aim is basically increase the standard of the living in the whole country, not including doctors. And because of the financial instability and the quality of living of the country during the last few years, actually a lot of brain drain happened. So if I become the health minister, so I basically implement a strategy to provide the equal or the facilities to the all health, the patients, and improve the quality of the healthcare professionals, and depend on the performance rather than just giving salaries and everything because of the aging and everything. It should be depend on the performance and the activities and how they provide the healthcare to the patients, to the country. So that is my goal. If by chance I become Minister of Health. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot. Let's move to that Uzbekistan representatives. What do you think about if you're a minister, how to strengthen the essential surgery area?
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I'm now not Minister of Health, but you think future, okay, I will be like imitation of the Minister of Health. If I will be Minister of Health, of course, I don't want to open new bicycle. And in world we know and which country where have nowadays very good medicine, and one of best is in Korea. Korean medicine is one of best in the world, I can see, and the president country of Uzbekistan also agree with this. So it's reason I will request Minister of Health Korea share with us in all his protocol, clinic protocol, education system, especially for university, and we can establishment from the Korean medicine establishment in Uzbekistan. So we have this kind of project. I hope during next 3-4 years we will establish one medical faculty from the Korean university.
Okay, so you want to collaborate, strengthen the collaborations or the degree of collaborations with the Korea and probably other countries. Thank you, good. How about Cambodia?
Okay, thank you for your appreciated question. Personally speaking, I feel that policies is not just only me or only a few people make it. It is also get from the relevant person. For actually, based on my field is on infectious disease. So we not just focus on the field of the health, but now we update to One Health approach. Yes, so One Health approach is very important. It's not just only Ministry of Health, but for another relevant ministry or relevant sector can be come together and discuss what the policies should be created, even though that the perspective just only to protect and prevent the people from the infectious disease, to make them get more healthy and live with a happy life. So I just raised my idea. The first idea to make the policies is work well. The first one is based on the knowledge. Yes, if the staff and the person if get well known about how to integrate it and how to implement it in the work field, yes, I think that it is easy to work. And one more is about the workflow. Yes, every workflow is created as the system, so it may be easy to work. And the best important point is about the community engagement. Yes, if we want to get the success proposed on infectious disease, we need to have the community to join with us. We cannot stand alone to work to get the best result, but the community is very important point. As my experience, I used to work at the WHO in Manila, so the system of the community engagement in the Manila, Singapore, yes, they work very well. They set a fluent system with the community. When the outbreak or the pandemic happened, the authority and for the relevant person is well known about their work. So it is just my idea. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So I kind of succeeded in managing time. So I think we have time for like one question. Is there any question from the audience? Okay, please. At the back. Yeah. Please identify yourself and make it short, your question short.
Greetings, protocol observed. My name is Derek Mosoka. I am a coffee fellow. I just came from Uganda. Thank you. My question is specific to Sri Lanka about the success story. You only mentioned a challenge of brain drain. We tried this in Uganda, but I needed to hear more about how you managed to have a call center, because when you talk about transport systems, it means you have a call center. Is it based at the head office, Ministry of Health? Is it at the sub-district? Is it a district or facility? And on that aspect, just a second question is, at what level have you set the policies? Have you enacted the policy? What does it state? It will help us as a country as well to have a success story like yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much for interesting questions. Regarding this transport system, actually we are running a single the office or the center regarding the ambulance in near the Colombo, and in that particular center, we do have the postgraduate trainees in emergency medicine who's receiving almost all the phone calls around the country regarding the transfers. So it is very the techniques and the technical aspect, as well as the facilities actually donated by the Indian government actually, with thanks. And then we have one single station who is providing, basically coordinate all the phone calls and on the transfers all over the country in the single center. And we do have the 3 doctors in particular times to answer all these phone calls with collaboration with the government. Those doctors are all emergency medicine trainees. So that's how we implement. It's initiated in 2016 and we extend it to the island wide. But we have only one center to all island to cooperate all phone calls. But training wise, we do have regional centers to train them in all the provinces. And the next question, if I get correct, it is like, what is the policy? The policy level is national, the ministry level. As I heard during some other talks, actually we also have that local governments and the central governments ministry, but all the policies always coming through the central government. And then it is very easy to work with the local government to implement that particular policy. Because we do have a lot of policies in our countries. I think it is very common to all our countries, but it's never implemented. So now actually we are in the position that the policies are made by the government, central government, through the cabinet, and implement through the local governments to the general public to establish the healthcare system in the primary care, healthcare level also. So that's how we overcome those challenges during the last few years.
Okay, thank you. It's time to wrap up. I'd like to re-emphasize the importance of PHC and the PHC approach, or PHC paradigm, can I say, if you don't mind? Because there's another very important context that makes this PHC approach critical. That is population aging. For example, many high-income countries, including Korea, is facing these serious challenges. And as you know, all the people, there's not just a comorbidity, but multi-morbidities. So without good primary health care, there's a huge inefficiency, inequity for the care of old people. So we need a good integrated system with PHC framework. And this integrated care is not just integrated healthcare, because all the people, they need good coordinated healthcare, plus they need long-term care, social care. And PHC should play a key role in the coordination of all of these primary, secondary, tertiary care, and long-term care and social care. So that's why PHC is so important for all countries around the world. Because some people have some bias, for example, in Korea, that is only matters for low middle income countries, but that's not correct. It's sometimes even become more important in the high income countries that is experiencing the population aging. So it's time to wrap up. Thanks so much for your contributions, your participation. It's time to enjoy your dinner. Thank you.
Thank you always. It's always very inspiring to listen to the moderation of Professor Kwon. As I've been coming to the series of events multiple times, as you can see, now we are removing the chairs on the stage to conclude today's event. And as soon as the stage is clear, we're going to invite up our President Ha for closing remarks. So please bear with us. All right, without further ado, let me invite President Ha to the stage for his brilliant closing remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Thank you very much for your excellent talk and presentations. And before closing, I'd like to give you a very short message from Coffee. And from this year, Coffee decided not to exchange any gift or souvenir by any price between partners and friends. It does not mean that our mind will be distant from now on, but it just means that we do not need any gift or present anymore to continue our warm heart and friendship. I think everybody of you will save time, money, and energy by this policy. Thank you very much for your participation, and please enjoy your dinner and evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the concise and transparent policy sharing going forward. It's always for the better for our relationship and our future. So I would like to once again sincerely thank everyone who attended today's conference. And we'll now have a group photo with everybody here. So I'm going to now invite all speakers, KGA members, COFI staff, and training institution representatives to the stage. And you can see, as you can see, it's a full house. We have more than 150 guests joining us. So in order to prevent any accident from happening, I'm going to invite row by row. So I'm going to first invite the first two row participants up on stage, and obviously our President Ha is going to join us. And when things are settled on stage, I'm going to next invite the two next rows to the stage. Okay, so please proceed to the stage carefully. And this is going to be rather a casual photo. You feel free to maybe like sit on the floor or squat, or just make sure that we squeeze everybody into the photo. Yeah, and the next two rows, if you don't mind, please get ready to come up on stage. We will gradually, one by one, ask you to come join us on stage. Sure. First row. You can sit down or squat down. You can stand here, I believe. 여기 밑에 서도 되는 거죠? 밑에도 서도 되는 건가요? 아니면 무대 위로 다 올려야 될까요? Yeah. So please feel free to stand on the floor of the stage as well, just like the beautiful ladies in the traditional costumes. Yes, please join us on stage. Yeah, aren't you all hungry? Please come to the stage. Let's get this done and go eat. Please join us. Everybody who was here with us, please join us for a photo opportunity. Please come join us for a photo opportunity. I think there's some room between the row on the floor and also on the stage if you can maybe squat down. I think on the stage we should have at least 2 rows of people lining up. At least 2 rows on the stage. 2 rows on the stage. And there should be some people who can maybe do half squats. Stay safe, but please come join us. All right, I see only a few participants are left on the floor and we're almost all here up on stage and also the bottom of the stage. 작가님 준비가 되셨나요? 이 정도면 될까요? 네. So we're going to push the tables towards the edge of the room for a little bit and then go ahead for photo opportunities. And for this one, you don't have to be so formal. You can do free pose, the Korean, famous fighting posture, or the finger heart that's shown by K-pop stars like BTS or Blackpink. Anything you want. 잠깐 되셨나요? 끝에 테이블이요? 네. We're trying to get rid of all the obstacles that can come inside the photo. Once things are clear, we're going to take photos together. So it's a great time for you to think about what posture you're going to do. Can you scoot over to one another? Stay closer. I know you don't like each other, but stay closer. Yeah, let's get rid of the water bottle. 또 있으실까요? 요청사항? 네. All right, dear physicians, it's time for you to shine. The pose you wanted. Let's shine brightly. Let's be creative. We have the V pose, we have the finger heart, we have the real heart, we have the heart, half heart. There are many different options. Be creative and show your best smiles for the photography. Photo lasts forever. All right. 1, 2, 3. Kofi. 1, 2, 3. KGA. Okay, now we're going to all wave together. 1, 2, 3. Kofi. Thank you. Kofi is a good one. Thank you.